All right, let's start.
Let's get right into it.
So we meet her on Flash. She's just moved to Central City, and she has no idea that she's a reincarnated demigoddess whatsoever. So Hawkman comes into the picture, and obviously I think he's a lunatic because he's like, we're lovers, and I was like, yeah, no, pretty sure I would remember that. But eventually she does obviously sprout her wings and start remembering what's going on, but it's a bit of a struggle and a slow process. I think they were so smart to pick the reincarnation timeline because there's so much we can do with that, especially
rather than the alien.
Right, the Thanagarian version is like it's more cut and dry, you know. But what's great is like, what if I feel like we have this new world, Earth 2, happening in Flash. Like, what if Thanagarian, someone wants to come out of that or something? Like, there's endless possibilities. We could have a million Hawkgirls running around by the end of it. Who knows?
You seem very well versed in the history of the comic character.
Trying to be. Yeah, I actually wasn't a comic book person necessarily. I've always been a little bit of a like anime geek, but like not comic books. But luckily, I've bought so many and read lots and lots and lots. Read Hawkgirl and started with it's a lot, but I love it. I actually really like it. I didn't think I would like comics, but I love them. It was kind of one of those moments of like, duh, like, because I've always loved anime so much, and I've always wanted to come to Comic-Con too. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I wanted to come as a night elf. So, but yeah, I just was like, this is so freaking cool. Like, who doesn't want to be a superhero? It's amazing. Yeah. It's hard because Ciara is a little bit of a closed-off character. She's been through a lot and come back from the dead and all of that kind of stuff. We have that in common, at least. I mean, like, but you know, thus far we haven't had too much interaction, just because there's been so much action going on that it's just not had the time for that. But I'm looking forward to having some scenes with her, and I think it's going to be great. We're going to see kind of every relationship really get to play out, and we have just this disparate group of crazies, you know, and very, very funny, very, very serious, very, very this, very that, so it'll be really interesting. I mean, really, it's just been so much of, she's reeling. I mean, she finds out she is reincarnated, she finds out she's a soulmate, she finds out basically the small town girl that she thought she was is not who she actually is, and she starts training, she's learning how to fight, and she's also found out that there's a man coming after her trying to kill her. So there's really not that much time for her to talk to anybody else.
Are there any characters from her life before she's joined this team that are still part of her life or mentioned? Or
no, I think she kind of is, she broke ties a little bit, not in I think like a dramatic or bad way. She just was like trying to figure out who she was. I think she's always kind of known that there was something different or off about her, but she had no idea that this is what it was. But yeah, I think she kind of makes the move away from home and away from everything she knew, because it wasn't right for her, and she just knew that. Yeah. Flying is the coolest thing I've ever done. I love heights, I love flying, I love being on rooftops, and we used to do that all the time. It's really cool. It's not necessarily the most comfortable experience, but it's totally worth it. The pros outweigh the cons. Luckily, I don't have to have like a giant 50-pound wing pack attached to my body. CGI is a blessing. But the costume's really cool. I really like the way that we make them more realistic, more grounded. It's an earthier toned costume. It's not bright green and red and yellow, you know.
Is there a bit of a hawk head on
yeah, and the mask, we went back and forth about the mask. I didn't know if we were going to do it. We were like, I don't know, does she need it? But yeah, I'm actually really glad that we have the mask. It makes me feel like a totally different person, a different persona, you know, so it's cool.
And does she carry a mace?
Not presently, she does not. Hawkman is the only one who has a mace.
Is there a possibility of her getting the mace?
I think there's a possibility for her to do a lot of things.